What's going on, everyone? So Anthony Edwards, man, this guy is captivating the league right now. I mean, this guy is your favorite player's favorite player. This guy is so fun to watch. His charisma, his just killer instinct. Like, he is of the mold of like the Kobe's, the Jordans, right? Like, he is just so much fun to watch, right? Everyone's talking about like the face of the league. Who's the face of the league? Who's the face? It's Anthony Edwards. And he's going to be. Anthony Edwards very likely may end up being the best player in the league. Him and like Victor Wembanyama, I think within the next like 3 years, are going to be the clear-cut two best players. I think those two guys are going to be the guys that you're just like, man, I mean, Anthony Edwards is just, he's so fun to watch. Like, he's my favorite player, right? Like, I said this last year, right? That I was like, I think Anthony Edwards might be my favorite player. Like, I love watching him. And like, periodically throughout this season, I've kind of reinforced that and just been like, yeah, man, I really love watching Anthony Edwards. So fun to watch. I love his demeanor, love the way he carries himself, his confidence. But like, it's just undeniable. He's my favorite player. The guy is just, he's otherworldly. I mean, this guy just like torched the Denver. They did everything they could to try to slow him down, and he was like, stop it. Stop. Like, tell you what, let them run 8-on-5, right? That way they could triple team me and still defend other guys, and I'll still torch these folks. Like, he was just so unbelievable. He was hitting just big shot after big shot. I mean, it was like no one was there in front of him. He's just so spectacular. I mean, he just has that elite athleticism, right? This creative playmaking, that difficult shot making. And then on top of that, you add in that like he's developing and becoming an excellent jump shooter, right? A excellent kind of rhythm shooter, knocking down the three ball. I mean, the dude's just in his bag, right? You see him with like the AI crossover. He's doing like the crazy spits. I mean, the guy's just, he's doing it all. And I mean, this kid is still young enough to be drafted in this upcoming year's draft, right? Like, he's a superstar. I mean, whether you hate Minnesota or you love Minnesota or you're indifferent about Minnesota, the entire world right now is just focused and captivated by Anthony Edwards. That is a superstar, right? Wherever you rank him amongst the players in the league, right? Whether you think he's top 10, top 20, whatever, he's a superstar. The entire world is excited right now for the next Minnesota game. When have you had that? Right? Like, maybe when KG was around, right? Since then, it's like, it's just been nothing. But like, a guy on the Minnesota Timberwolves doesn't matter who your favorite team is, nothing, right? Obviously, many of you familiar with me, familiar with my Laker channel, that's Stan's Lakers. You know I'm a diehard Laker fan. I'm excited and pumped to watch Minnesota games, right? Because Anthony Edwards. Like, it's just, the dude is just getting it done on both sides of the basketball. That competitive nature, that competitive drive, that just like, give me the basketball and get out of my way. No one's going to stop me. He's just, and I mean, he's still only going to improve. He's only going to get better. He's only going to develop more. Like, the kid hasn't even gotten to his grown man body yet. Right? Wait till he actually develops and, gets physically strong. And I mean, he's playing on raw emotion, talent, energy, athleticism. Like, wait till he really gets, like, you see when guys transition to like their kind of mid to late 20s, early 30s, right? Usually that like 27 to 32 range is when you really see guys hit their stride. They get that feeling and understanding of the game. They grasp, how to score without having to overexert themselves, pace, right? Like, they just understand and start to develop the game of basketball on an NBA level, right? Like, it's not just so much about talent, right? Like Kevin Durant, great example, right? Like, he could probably score 100 points if he really wanted to, like if he just took a shot, but like, he's very methodical, right? Like, but you look at young KD, he was just 100 miles an hour, right? But you see, as he transitioned to like the later years and then into his 30s and then into now, he's very strategic about how he approaches, how he attacks things, right? Get into his spots, get into his positions, right? Where Anthony Edwards right now, He's getting to his spots, he's getting to his positions, but he's doing it on just his athleticism and his just abilities, right? He's just beating guys off the dribble. Once he learns and really grasps, like, okay, I can get to this spot, right, without having to, like, just go 100 miles an hour and blow by, right? Like, I can just dribble and work this guy down, right, and just wear him down. You see guys, again, the Kobe Bryants, the Michael Jordans, right? The Dwayne Wades, even to an extent, right? These all-time great shooting guards. And look, I'm not saying Anthony Edwards will ever reach that status or get there, but he's if you were ever gonna bet on somebody to do it, he's the guy, right? If you were ever thinking like, man, like who has the potential to be the next like great shooting guard all time, like it's him. Like, he's the guy. He's just spectacular. But you saw, especially as their years progress, like the greats of this league, right? Like they really do start to understand at a fundamental level how to properly approach and properly attack and when to attack and how to attack and understanding certain matchups and certain players. Okay, this guy's on me, I'm going to attack him this way. This guy's on me, I'm going to attack him this way, right? Oh, this guy's on me, I'm going to attack him this way, right? And you really start understanding, right? He gets his strength up, right? That athleticism is excellent and is incredible to have as he's young, right? Like right now, again, it's just he's out there just hooping, right? Like he's just out there having fun, torching guys, right? But once he really understands that, then he won't need to be so reliant on the athleticism. Now the athleticism just makes him literally unstoppable. It takes him to another level because he's an athletic freak that once he develops those true fundamentals and gets that all-around sound game, I mean, all of a sudden you're going to look and just be like, wow, this guy, this is a real NBA player. I mean, we already kind of feel like that now. He's like genuinely captivated the league. Like everybody is on pins and needles waiting for his next game, waiting to see what he does. How does he perform? I mean, he's out here setting records and putting up insane stats. I mean, even in this Denver game, like credit Naz Reid and credit Dallas or Denver, period, right? It was definitely collective effort, but they won that game because of Anthony Edwards and his greatness, like 100%. Right, Naz Reid, again, he was another huge factor. I mean, he had like 10 straight points or something like that, and just kind of took over for like a stretch while Karl Anthony Towns was in foul trouble sitting on the bench. But man, Anthony Edwards, man, he just hit big shot after big shot, timely shot after timely shot, and just packed this up, put it away. I mean, he scored 43 points. He was 17 of 29 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, 6-6 from the foul line, 2 blocks, 1 steal, only 1 turnover. He had 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Like, the guy did everything. The guy did absolutely everything. Hit every big shot that they needed him to hit, right? Just crossing everybody over. Denver had no answer. I mean, and they're throwing everything. They're throwing Aaron Gordon, KCP, Michael Porter Jr., right? Like Jamal Murray, and he's just lining them up and knocking them down. Lining him up, knocking him down. Again, like I said earlier, like it was like he was by himself. It was like he was practicing in a gym. There was no crowd. There was no other people. He was in a gym by himself, just getting reps up. Is basically what it looked like out there. That's special. That is absolutely special. And this guy is only going to continue to improve. He's only going to get better. I mean, Minnesota better do everything in their power to keep that guy. Right? Like, I still have my questions about like the Anthony Edwards cat pairing, right? Like, Karl Anthony Towns, look, he's a great player, but man, that guy just makes so many just like questionable decisions, like constantly. And I've talked about this before, and I've had people like push back and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, every time, like, just watch the game. Watch this. Go rewatch this Denver game. It was like every time the Timberwolves were looking like they were going to pull ahead and just, like, run away with it, Karl Anthony Towns would foul a three-point shooter on an and one, right? Or, like, just careless turnover or just, like, traveling or, just getting an offensive foul. Or it's just, like, it's like every time. It's just I don't know. I think, like, obviously if they win the championship this year, which they do have a really good chance, I still kind of think Denver ultimately pulls this out and wins this series, but we'll see. Again, I wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota wins it. No, and then if Minnesota ends up winning the NBA championship, it'd be kind of hard to go, oh, well, now we're going to trade Karl Anthony Towns. But, like, if you don't, right, like, let's say you do lose to Dallas. Dallas comes back, or Denver. I don't know why I keep saying Dallas. Denver, say they lose to Denver, it kind of does beg the question of, like, okay, do we turn Karl Anthony Towns into, like, other complementary pieces, kind of really, like, push chips, go all in on this roster, right? Like, it's just kind of a thought. But it's one of those things where it's like, now we'll see. We'll see how this shapes up because, I'd love to see Anthony Edwards advance. I think, speaking of Dallas, I keep saying Dallas, which is probably why I keep making that mistake, is I do think Dallas beats the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll see. I wouldn't be shocked if I wouldn't bet on it, right? But I just think Luka and Kyrie will get it done. Dallas playing just excellent basketball, especially on the defense side of things. I like Dallas to get that done. I think it'll be a hard-fought battle, but assuming Dallas pulls that off, right? If Minnesota plays Dallas, I think Minnesota beats them, which would put them in the NBA Finals, probably against the Boston Celtics. But we'll see, right? One game at a time, one step at a time. But, man, Anthony Edwards. Talk about the face of elite. Anthony Edwards is going to be the face of elite. Without a doubt. Next, 3 years, it'll be Victor Wembanyama, Anthony Edwards. Who's better? Those will be those conversations. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts on Anthony Edwards? Are you captivated as everyone else? Do you think that he's going into superstardom? Do you think that he'll end up being the face and best player in the league in the next few years? If not, maybe even as soon as next year. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot if you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.